There are an estimated 6,000 to 7,000 of them. And a rare disease is considered one with less than 200,000 cases a year, which together, when you take all 7,000, affect nearly 1 in 10 Americans, or 30 million people. And of all of those diseases, less than 250 of those diseases have an FDA-approved treatment. So of all the diseases, very few of them have any way to try and treat the disease. Which, of course, this can lead to people, as some of you may know, feeling really isolated, unable to find an accurate diagnosis because apparently I have a advance on here, because the medical professionals may not know about the diseases. As I said, unable to find effective treatments. There's not a lot of knowledge among medical professionals, and what this, it's really a global public health challenge. It's not just here in the U.S., it's everywhere. So NORD is the voice of patients with rare diseases here in the U.S., but we work closely with partners in Europe, and most recently we signed a partnership with the Japanese Patient Association. We work with the European Patient Organization, which is called EURORDIS, which is a mouthful, or Rare Diseases Europe, which is a lot easier to say. We have about 210, 50, 30 member organizations.
Almost 200, yeah.
Who represent disease-specific groups, including the LAM organization. And we have offices here in Connecticut and Boston and DC. We do programs of education, patient advocacy, mentorship for patient organizations. We have a small research grant program. I think one of the coolest things about the research grant program, we were recently just in DC, and so what it means is we give seed grants. So it's not like millions of dollars we're giving. It's like $35,000, which is still a lot of money, but the research is incredibly expensive. These grants can get the research to a point where they can go and get bigger grants from NIH and other funding bodies. And one of the things that started through one of these grants is it's called a titanium rib. So essentially, patients born with this disease didn't have a rib cage. And so what would happen is, as the children grew, they wouldn't be able to protect all of their organs, and they would die. And what this scientist developed, starting with research done through this research program, is he made a rib where it's made out of titanium, but you can adjust it. So as you grow, you can, instead of having to do a million different surgeries, the rib grows with it. So
it's like it's like a one-size-fits-all type.
Yeah, it grows with you, so that way you don't have to. And this is a guy, he's good friends with the guy who invented MRIs and all of this, and he started here with this research grant. So,
amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. So there's a lot to be done for rare disease patients, and we hope to help foster that. Rare Disease Day was started in EURORDIS in 2008. Do you want to find out if the heat's on in here?
Yeah,
it's really hot in here. This room is either Antarctica or the equator. You never know what you're going to get. It started in EURORDIS in 2008, and then they asked NORD to be the sponsor in 2009. It's always the last day of February, so that means every 5 years we get a leap year, Rare Day, which is more fun.
Last year.
Yeah. And then in 2013, 72 countries participated, so it's really going global. We had some cool things happen for social media on Rare Disease Day. The Laker guy, thank you. I was not going to get that pronunciation right. Tweeted, and Robin Roberts, who's the Good Morning America lady, tweeted and said something on the show. Francis Collins is the head of NIH, so he's, that was exciting. And then, we got a lot of people just talking about it. And Woody Guthrie, who most of you probably don't know, is a folk singer who had a rare disease, and his wife helped at the very beginning of everything.
Is that Huntington?
Huntington's disease, yeah.
There's a Crosby student whose was one of the first young people to do the genetic testing for Huntington's because her grandfather had it.
Yeah.
And she did test positive, and right now she trained as an occupational therapist.
Oh, wow.
But now she works for a company to advocate for Huntington's disease, the medication. She's traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
At all the different Huntington's groups around and bringing young people into the organization. So she turned a career into information that wasn't the best information because not knowing what her future will bring. But yeah, she's from Crosby, Katie. So maybe one day we'll get Katie to visit us.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of you are Dr. House fans, but one of the main characters on the show for a while had Huntington's disease, and it was an entire storyline. I don't
They
really
even
watch
talked
it.
about Leon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been great what some of the things they've done.
Was he not that too?
Yes. Yes.
That was the character, yeah.
And this is, so they used, what was cool about this is we just started seeing on social media things popping up from all over the world, which was just fun. This was just a cool thing. So, as I said, you know, a lot of people who have rare diseases have never met another person with their disease. And what these moms did is it was 30 mothers from around the world whose children all have this rare disease, CDKL5. And they decided to meet together for the first time, and people came from, you know, Europe and Asia and New Zealand and all over the U.S. and they met face to face, and they stood outside on the Today Show and got on TV, and they wore these sashes, and now, you know, they're very close and friends, and they said it was really important for them to meet. So we got a lot of media coverage, CBS, ABC, CNN. There's, as you guys know, there were a lot of things happening in schools. We heard about a lot of things at universities and preschools, everything in between. And then one really cool thing, we got a message from the president, which we can't share with you because they had really weird stipulations about when you could and could not read the message from the president. But it happened, and it was exciting. So hopefully next year we'll get another one and we can read that one. And then this is sort of one of my favorite projects from Rare Disease Day. We asked just people to, you know, take the pictures. So we got just tons of photos in from people from companies, parties, all ages. You know, people did different things and trying to tell their story. And there's like 200 on the website, but it just gives the sampling. So we just recently had for our